We are back
Clap, Bjorn.
once again. What's it? What now? Clapcorn? I don't know what that was. When I watch this air, I'll hear what he said and I'll go, "Oh, that was good." Yes, this is sequentially going forward in time. I don't know where my facial hair went, but we won't talk about that. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
You can't control
it.
I can try. You well, it didn't amount to much, so that's why your beard isn't that much bigger. But yes, we have our continuing story music brought to you by Syrinscape. Syrinscape, they're awesome. They can provide soundtracks to your role-playing game at home or on the interwebs, like we do. Wonderful for ambiance or actually adding a lot of dimensions to combat, cool sound effects, and music. Syrinscape, check them the hell out. Jordan, what else we got?
Well, we've got one thing. Speaking of our continuing story, what story are the people watching, Bjorn? Because we keep forgetting to say the name of the show at the top.
Yes, we don't. I don't even know what we're continuing calling this. I'm calling it just Continuing Adventures in the Western Realms or something along those lines of this campaign. The continent you guys take place in is in the Western Realms. We are the Dice Jailers. This is our 5e game.
That's what I wanted.
That's our brand name. It has been a week, y'all. Let me tell you right now, it has been a effing week. This January is a really long year. That's all I can say.
Truth. As far as show announcements, we've got a few. We've got the usual ones that I say. Go check out our friends over at the No Latency podcast for a Cyberpunk Red actual play podcast. It's very fun. It's very cool. There's a person with a TV for a head. That's really the draw. Also our friends over at the Ugly Radio podcast. And also a shout out to a thing that Bjorn and I just were at yesterday.
Yeah.
The play that is the reason that I know almost all of them. Yeah, I had mine up to show as well. But Through the Plot Hole is a play that Bjorn and I did together 6 years ago, written by Micah Colding, and Micah has just recently turned the show into a novel, and it is now released for purchase. It's such a fun story about fictional characters trying to break a hole through the fourth wall and jump into reality.
Yeah, there is a not related to anyone that we know super well and not related to anything gaming. There's a cause near and dear to my heart, and this will still be going on by the time this airs. There's a really cool bar and lounge in the U District called the Kraken. Has nothing to do with the NHL team. In fact, the NHL team had to call their bar the 32 bar because Kraken being a long establishing thing. Their landlords have informed them that they have until March to vacate the premises. There is a GoFundMe. If you look up Save the Kraken Bar, you can find the GoFundMe for them. If you got some money to give towards that, or you know some people who would want to help keep a really cool venue around, they're looking for a new home. They're very hopeful. I used to play in a punk band that played a lot of cool shows there. And I got to say, of all the venues we played, they were one of the ones that always treated us the best. And
Absolutely.
They're super cool to their talent that comes in. They show a lot of respect to the bands, and they show a lot of respect to their clientele as well. So the Kraken Bar and Lounge, they're on GoFundMe if you want to check that out. It's a really easy Google search. I don't know an exact link to find it otherwise.
The link's really like reading out an HTML.
It's a long,
like,
it's a long thing. Yeah, but yeah, if you look up Kraken Bar GoFundMe, you'll find it right away. So yeah, if you got a couple coins you can send their way, they'd be appreciative, as well as the entire Seattle music community would appreciate it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of money, Jamie,
yeah.
You're muted.
Oh, hi again. Guys, oh no, shit. Guys,
just about to launch into someone else's ad copy. I love it, and we love you.
That show makes plenty of money. They don't need our help.
Okay. We have a Ko-fi. You can see the link. 2 squares that way, I believe. And it is, if you can't read, I don't want to discriminate. It says ko-fi.com/dicejailers. Dicejailers is all one word. and you can send actual human monies to contribute towards our shenanigans. Recently, someone has done so and forced Phoenix, resentfully and against his will, to take.
I
Fast
love this
Trent.
spell.
I mean,
It's going to be great.
It's gonna get so much use.
You guys are really going to love it. You guys are really going to love it.
Anytime we need to escape a town, well,
Anytime you guys never want to go back to a settlement ever again.
Hey, maybe the next $100 donation gets to pick Siobhan's next spell.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You can absolutely do that.
I'll make you multi-class. If you throw that out there, I will make you multi-class. You have a high enough wisdom, you can take a level in cleric.
Okay, never mind. Don't get me a spell. I'll fight with something that's not a glaive. Also not true.
No.
Not true. Shit,
Don't-
I
don't
can't
do
be
that to
bought.
us.
Never mind.
I'm nominating if you raise $100 within. I'm just putting this out there. We raise $100 by 1 week from this episode. Bjorn, you are giving Siobhan a spork. That is her new weapon.
no,
I
don't do
will-
that.
I
Don't
will
do that to
homebrew.
us.
If that happens, I will homebrew a spork that Siobhan will have to use for at least one attack.
So I would like to encourage you not to send us any money.
No?
No.
Somehow I feel like I know where
Just
that
send
attack is going to be
99.
directed anyway.
She can order KFC and she'll yeet a spork across this living room and clunk me upside the head. That's what's going to happen. Anyhow, yes, you were saying, Jamie, before the spork talk.
I don't remember. I've lost my will to play this game. If for some reason you wish to monetarily support us, you do you. Way to do so. It's over on the side of the screen. Yep, thank you. Jordan is my lovely, continues to be my lovely Showcase Showdown model. And I had a flow going, and I'm picturing a giant spork now, guys, and that's really
Yeah.
all I have. So I can both skewer and then scoop up someone. Actually, I can make that work. What if like something little, like I could like fling it? There's little like
If somebody donates that
fire
Humvee
elemental or something.
within
just, like,
1 week of this airing, we'll worry about it then.
Yeah.
But
use it like lacrosse, field lacrosse. All right. Anyway, this is going great. Thank you for your attention. And money, please.
how much more sympathy do you have for like folks on shows like Critical Role when they have to do these things now that you're part of that world?
On one hand, yes. On the other hand, they're getting paid and I'm not. So, and also they're professional voice actors and I'm not. But yes.
Yet.
And yet, yeah, every
And
time
yet.
they're like, why are they not prepared? And I'm like, oh, same reason. I literally forget every time.
Because it's fun to vamp. Speaking of vamping and making stuff up, I think that's all that cool stuff for us to talk about. So, all of you all are in the capital city of the Thanamirian Empire, the city of Nova Aurora, the shining star of the Empire. Having traveled here covertly via a teleportation circle spell that Swordall cast, allowing you to end up in the bar of the adopted, in a sense, aunt of Kira, Halia, her bar, Faded Skies.
Wait, what do you mean adopted aunt? She is my aunt, right?
You don't know. Just throwing concern out there for you, Jordan.
That's not fun. That's not cool.
She is your aunt. She is your aunt. I hadn't fucked with you yet today, my friend. Anyhow, yes, in her bar where you began your time here, and after some brief conversation, there was a message that was broadcast out through the city as a enemy against the crown was to be executed, but that execution was interrupted by an individual known as the Hollow Keeper. This Hollow Keeper then immolated said prisoner, letting them die as a martyr before slinking back into the fog and shadows from whence they came. There was a little panic in the streets, and a individual you have run into a few times, one of the top-ranking members of the census, Castian Aloro, showed up at Halia's bar to make sure everything was okay, and asked her to let him know if she saw Kira. A quick familiar scouting saw that there was quite the cadre of guards along with him, and he moved his way down the street afterwards, trying to just help calm the populace a bit. Kira was given a sword that was kept there at the tavern to keep as a gift from him, from his late father, Tyree. And then you all split into two groups, one of which, Mannix, Reba, Siobhan, along with Swordall, went to one of the main census offices to get to the Hall of Records. You found out some information regarding how to destroy that cursed sword that Kira had, as well as some information about when and where the individual that supposedly killed Tyree was last seen and where they may have gone, giving you a possible lead. Siobhan also took it upon herself to try and find some information about the area of land where the Kalishtar once lived, where there's now an arcane reservoir. The four of you came across some individuals that were turning down a room that had a bunch of more top secret type files. Combat began. You were victorious and quickly got out of there, not completely without the aid of Mannix's ability to wonderfully bluster against all those in his path. The other three of you, Garnet, Kira, and Pohaku, if you remember, you guys went and met with some members of the denizens of the Penumbra, and you were sent on a little fetch quest for them. Find out where some individuals that were sent out to run a little mission had gone, as they were well overdue. You found them. They're being set upon by some Draugr. You healed them, ending up saving all three of them, as well as eliminating the Draugr, and you were basically taken in as possible temporary fledgling members for the denizens to say, okay, we are like-minded, and we'll see where this goes from here. You all returned to Halia's to catch your breath, relax, and that's basically where we pick up as you guys are getting back together to share information and share any sort of plan going forward. So what do you guys want to do?
So, who wants to start? Because, like, we did some stuff. I know you all went and did some stuff. What'd you figure out? We can tell you what we figured out.
Siobhan's going to move away from any windows and kind of collapse into a seat because, as I mentioned, low-key panic attack the entire time. And it's just like, well, how long have we been here, do you think? Is it 3 hours yet? Is it even 3 hours?
You guys have probably been here in the neighborhood of about somewhere between, let's say about 3-4 hours. Actually, probably long. You've probably been closer to about 4 or 5 hours. Because you spent an hour in the bar before you head out, because Kira had time to attune to that sword. And then the missions you went on, there was a bit of a walk there and a bit of a walk back. So yeah, probably about 4 or 5 hours.
All right. So ignoring the thing about the time, said, well, we got in a fight in the library, so that's a personal best.
You got in a... Nope, I'll wait till the end.
Reba mentioned something about the upright in the library, so that's all we know. More like,
And
what were they doing there?
That's about all we know, I'm afraid. We came across them. They were ransacking a room. We came in. They started spouting off about the upright. So we got into a fight about it. And I left one alive. But then his nibs over there decided we should hit by his nibs. I should indicate that I'm pointing at Why have I forgotten his name? I was gonna say
Mannix?
No. The
Sordal?
Loxodon. Sordal. Yeah, his nibs there got us out with a quickness, so we didn't have a chance to do any questioning. And it was dead brilliant. Someone tried to mouth off to Mannix, and he glared them into submission. He literally just turned around, glared them, and they just backed down. It was dead impressive.
Wow.
Sordo will speak up, say, I understand that getting what information we could definitely would have been preferable, but I didn't want to stick around too long to have too many questions asked of us, of those in the building. Apologies if I seemed a bit on the hasty side.
I'm not complaining, or his nibs is not an insulting term. It's just your fanciness. You're having authority there. You know, being.
Thank you. I do think these robes really bring out the color of my eyes.
Is this
So thank you so much.
I'm turning to the non. Well, literally everybody except for Reba, and be like, is it an insult in here? It just means fancy pants, but again, not in a negative way. Just you have authority. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we didn't get all the information we went for, though, did we? I can't remember. We couldn't find
I don't think we did.
No, because we had to leave. I found information, but
We know a little more than we did, though I think finding out how to destroy that sword may have been the most valuable thing we found, though it's going to take a bit of traveling and finding the right individuals to do so. But at least we know how it can be eliminated.
And how is that?
Oh, it's quite simple on the surface. One just needs to find a coven of hags and get them to distill the sword itself down into a tincture, and the blade as well as the blood witch housed inside will be destroyed.
simple.
That's all it takes, is it?
Yep,
A coven of hags.
dead simple.
Yep.
Three
Oh,
of them.
Haku.
Two will not do.
Because we all have
3 covens?
connections.
No, Lord Soul, one coven. Just one coven, which is 3 hags.
4?
Okay. 5 is right out.
Give yourself inspiration.
Kohaku, do you know anyone who could meet this description that perhaps isn't as scary if they're as unknown?
Do I?
Make yourself a history check there, Bahaku. Let's see. Who all do you know?
Oh no, that's a natural 3. It turns into a 8, but yeah.
So all you would know with an 8, you would know that the Branch Mother's Den, you would know that place is right out there. There's no hags there. All you know is that they'd be somewhere in the wood west of the Branch Mother's Den. And that's not the most helpful thing, because almost everything in the Whispering Wood is west of the Branch Mother's Den, as it's very close to the eastern shore.
Good question, Garnet. No.
Okay.
But
Say-
let me I'll be right
Mannix,
back.
Mannix, are you proficient in either history or arcana?
Yes.
You may roll one of those your choice, because you know a couple things about that area.
11.
11? Yeah, same thing. We were like, you would know, like, well, the Whispering Wood, that'd be a place to find them. As far as beyond that, You've heard of some locations there, but you don't really know what's in any of them. Like you've heard of the Lair of the Forgotten. You've heard of the Menagerie of Regret. You've read about Grandmother's House, the Throne of Midsummer. These are things you know about. You just don't know what all is there.
And this was again in regards to hags, just in general.
Yeah, like you have no idea if there are hags at any of these. You're like, maybe. I know they're in the woods somewhere.
But the Whispering Woods is something that the other ones I'm like, yeah, there might be hags in there might not. But the Whispering Woods, I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a better
well,
spot than not to look.
And all those locations are contained within the Whispering Wood because it is a
Oh,
long,
gotcha.
yeah, it's a very
Gotcha. Okay.
long belt of woodland that goes across part of the southeast part of the continent. That is really what keeps Glimmer Shore separate from everything. And some, including many of the gnomish residents of Glimmer Shore, believe that these scary woods have left a certain amount of protection to them, as the Empire is not about to try and march through those woods to try and make a move on the artificers to the southeast.
Okay. So it's more of a we go into the Whispering Woods. There's a chance that we'll have some success. As to specifically where, sure.
Yeah, that's the area where, if you remember back when talking about going along the train, that is where you were told when you're passing through there, don't get off the train,
Stay on the
don't
train.
get off the train, and don't get off the train.
What if I wanted to get off the train?
Whereas
Get off
that's
the
where
train.
Pohaku's from, so he thinks those warnings are a bit on the silly side. He's like, is there some dangerous stuff there? Sure, you just got to know what to watch out for.
So Pohaku is going to sorry, remind me physically, where are we right now?
You guys are in Halia's Tavern here in Nova Aurora.
Okay. So I will back up from the group, and just as I'm about to kind of leave the room, I come back, and so we just want to make sure we know where to find some friendly hags who can distill a sword, right?
Yes. Why
Great.
is- Oh no.
And I'm going to just kind of wander away into like into an empty room, and close my eyes and channel some energy through the earth, and I am reaching out to Auntie again. I have many aunties, so this is not reaching out to your grandmother. This is to Busara back in the woods, and I ask her, "Hi, Auntie. We need to find a hag coven to distill a sword. Where can we find a friendly coven in the woods? Love
Oh my
you."
God.
Interesting. A moment or two goes by, and you're pretty sure this is because, well, they're
Fair to ask.
thinking. Yeah, and oh, Pahaku. A strange ask. If you need a hag, grandmother's house is always best. That'll be the end of that message.
Does that mean something to me? Do I know where grandmother's house is?
You know where grandmother's house is usually found.
Cool.
Very wild.
It's within the Whispering Wood. It's just
Ah.
it's not always there. And you've got to take the right path to get there. And just because you take the right path, it may not always be there. But it is always very important that you first go over the river before you go through the wood.
You
And-
really did that. You really
Jordan
did
and I were like,
that.
we know what it is.
And you would know that the Verdant Sanctuary, which is the single train stop within the Whispering Wood, lies on the eastern bank of the river, the large river that flows through the Whispering Wood. And grandmother's house is found west of that. So one would have to go over that large river and then continue through the Whispering Wood to grandmother's house. And a moment later, a sending will come back in from your auntie. I should also tell you that Coven Cradle houses many covens, as the name suggests. Have fun!
And just to make sure I heard that properly, I should also tell you that Coven Cradle houses many covens.
Yes.
Awesome. We can take our pick. That's a perfect place to go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I will reply back. Oh, I can always count on you. Thank you so much, Auntie. Give my love to my family. Give Ali'i and Ele a hug for me. Love you.
She'll actually send you another sending. Oh, if you have time, if you go to one of those big fancy cities, bring home some fun things. The family would love souvenirs. Love you too.
And he replies with just absolute deadpan resolution. You can count on me. Love you. Still, again, to the moon and back. And yes, while you're hugging my family, you can also say hello to, and it probably cuts off by then.
Probably.
So Pohaku comes back to the group with just a beaming smile on his face. And he's like, I have news from Auntie Busara. She's the smartest. There's a reason she's in charge. And so we could, so she says that if we're looking for hags, grandmother's house is always best. So we could do that. Now there's some very specific instructions. I think it's about under a beach and through the volcano. No. Over a river and through the woods. So that's where we need. It's weird though, because with grandmother's house, sometimes it's there and sometimes it isn't. But yeah, she said grandmother's house would always be best. But she also she sent me a message back, and it was really nice of her. She also mentioned that Coven Cradle has lots of covens, so maybe we could go there and we could just like ask around. Like if one coven didn't want to do it, maybe we could find a different coven that would be more amenable to it. And also Garnet, and he kind of looks down a little bit. I might need to ask for the disco ball back. I need to bring home some toys.
Okay.
Really sorry.
Just want to run back for a second.
We can find more toys.
There's a
we
place
can find
called
more toys, that'd be
Coven
good, too.
Cradle.
Well, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Atu would like to run back for a second to the part where we're assembling Disco Fort
don't talk
Kick-Ass.
about names that are on the nose when we're, in the city of virtue. I mean, come on, really?
I mean,
They went there.
it's-
They went there.
it's not about the name being on the nose. It's... So, what we are told here about hag covens probably wildly different than they actually are. But working just off of what we know about we've been told about hag covens, like from my learning and whatnot, multiple in the same place is a terrifying thought.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bjorn. I feel like at one point, and maybe it was just a joke, like you made a comment about like hags babysat me as a child. So, do I have a different experience with hags?
You don't know if that story is true or not. You were told that when you were being quite fussy in your infant years, that
Never happened.
They would let the hags watch you because they knew how to take care of you. You have no idea if it's true or not. There's part of you that goes, no, there's no way, and then also you're like, well, I mean, you do know enough about them that entering a bargain or a contract of any sort with them, you got to be really cautious. You got to watch what you say around them. They can be very, very literal creatures.
Does Mannix have any experience or knowledge just about hags in general that he can?
Not a ton. The most like you do have some dealing with the Fae, just through your, the Earl King watching at a distance, for example. So you have
Oh yeah, that guy.
no positive dealings with the Fae, but you're fully aware that none of that's like hag coven stuff. But you've read some stuff about them. You know enough to know that a hag by itself can be dangerous. A full coven, their powers are amplified when they're in close proximity to each other. So starting trouble with one could be a very bad idea.
So I will mention back to Kira, just as far as well, there's, I mean, you can't go in all willy nilly, I think is the expression. If they say they're going to do something, or if you say something, they're going to believe that you are. Why is this so unusual now that I think about it? Like if you say something, they're going to believe that you're going to do the thing that you said, like to the letter of what you said.
So you can't use any expressions like a figure of speech with them. If you just say, "Oh, I'd bloody kill for a nap right now," they'd be like, "Done," and then you'd have to kill something.
I mean, that could happen.
But that's what you mean, though, about the literalness, yes?
Am I following you correctly on that, Bjorn? Or
Yeah, like you would know that would be the kind of thing that not only would they, either expect you to, or they would be willing to kill, but could be dangerous to not specify how long you want that nap to be.
I mean, slap my face and call me Sally might not be the best thing to choose.
Sally!
Should I have you make an attack roll? No, it's fine.
Mannix slaps Pohaku. Mannix immediately.
Yeah, well, so Pohaku just takes it. I don't think Mannix's strength is that much to worry about. And I'm like, just like that. Just like that.
Yeah, so that's a thing. That is knowledge that we now have. Yep, okay, great.
To our anonymous donor, I have to apologize. I don't currently have fast friends prepared because otherwise I so would have cast it on him right there.
I did have a feeling that spell is going to be something that Mannix is going to have to deal with at some point.
An hour of happy Mannix? Are you kidding me?
Yo.
Happiness is different for everybody.
We get to have the real Nate.
Oh god, the real Nate is not a whole lot like Mannix.
So we figured out that we need some hags to deal with that sword. We know where to find some hags, so that's something.
I beg your pardon. How did the sword become a priority all of a sudden?
Swordall will speak up. Now, I don't know that it so much suddenly became a priority, but it's unquestionably dangerous. I'm sure you don't all love traveling with it, and I can understand why you would want me to, oh, I don't know, take it back to census for storage and keeping. So, it seems to me eliminating it would be prudent. It's not something you could just, say, bury in a hole in the ground and forget about. Artifacts like that, when people bury them and forget about them, have a tendency to be found.
Honestly, it's been pretty high on the to-do list for me since I saw it take over Kira.
I mean, it didn't really take me over as much as
Well, yeah.
prevented me from talking about it.
And forced you to murder.
It didn't force me to kill anybody. We just happened to
Just
get in a
would've.
fight that killed people while I had it. I mean, it probably would have, but
Semantics aside, that thing is a ticking time bomb, and I am in full support of getting it to a coven. I vote Grandma's house.
Halia will speak up, say,
Someone's got to help her out of her chair.
Halia will say to you all, I don't know what sort of schedule you all are on, planning on heading out, but Kira, the Siege Ball season starts in 2 days, and
wait, Siege Ball is in 2 days? How did I
Yeah,
forget that on the calendar?
season starts in 2 days, and
The Siege Ball.
Siege Ball is something that all of you, except maybe Pohaku, would be incredibly aware of. Siege Ball is the national sport of the Western Realms. It's played quite similar to rugby in the way that the ball can only be advanced by running it or a backwards pass, and it then must be thrown into a small goal that each team has their own they defend. Every point begins with a climb to a top of a pole to retrieve the ball, which is spherical. The team that retrieves the ball first, if they score on that possession, they get 2 points. If the team that starts on defense scores, they get 1 point. After every score, the ball is placed back on the pole. The first team to 9 points wins. This is one of the rare things where teams from different nations encounter and play each other. The Thanamirian Empire has 4 teams. There are 4 teams up in the Vagabond assemblage. The Woods of the Asharan Vale have 2. The Dwarves of Stone Spire have 2. The Kingdom of Ayafiol have 2. And the Gnomish Nation of Glimmershore, they have 2 teams as well. And the home opener for the Nova Aurora Dawn, they'll be hosting the Nyarovik Tempest here in 2 days. But yeah, it brings all sorts of folks together because, hey, what
I want
would
to play Siege Ball.
Yeah, you would. Doesn't that sound great? Yeah, and then as far as for species that have the ability to fly or burrow, those are not allowed. In fact, flying races such as like Aarakocra, they wear harnesses that both kind of bind and protect their wings so that they're not, a way to get hurt. But yeah, they're certainly not allowed to fly. And yeah, it is played all across the Western realms at varying levels, and there are professional teams.
I mean, I know that I know that I at least kind of need to stay hidden for a while, but I would really like to go to the season opener.
And Mannix, your family has a private box.
Awesome. Mannix, I'm sure, thinks it's barbaric.
You tell me, it's your character.
Mannix thinks it's barbaric.
Does evil take Siege Ball season off?
How wish.
Sword holds it. Unfortunately, I doubt that it does, but it can be a lot of fun to watch.
Pohaku, I think you'd have the best time there ever.
It is the games are a very, very fun event. Won't lie.
Big crowds of people distracted, not watching anything other than the field.
If we have a ticking time bomb, can we really afford to take that time?
I mean,
I'm just wanting to make sure that we don't explode.
It's think of it as like a really slow tick.
Yeah, I don't know
Like,
if
there's
I'd
a
call
lot
it a
of
ticking
time.
time bomb.
Like, it's not like tick, tick, tick. It's like tick.
Pohaku just burst into a big grin. I was being literal.
Yes,
This
you
would
were.
be
Oh
good
my
practice.
God. You know what? Thank you, Pohaku. Keeping us
You're
on
welcome,
this.
sister.
Hex.
So you if I don't know if anybody noticed, if you happen to look over at Siobhan, her eyes are enormous and she's almost fucking vibrating, and be like, "You're saying there's a way to go to the season opener?"
I mean, I could. I mean, it would cost some money, but I've got a bit saved up.
No, Rich Boy here has a fucking box. He said.
Did he ever say that?
Mannix didn't say that. The DM informed Mannix.
X card.
Yeah.
X card. I
Yeah,
did not say
yeah.
that. I was just like, well, okay, it's
Yvonne, if you're so inclined, and you're in desperate need to see this siege ball, our family has a box.
private box.
Private box.
Please, let's go. Please, let's go.
Are you
Oh,
feeling okay? You're squeaking all of a sudden.
right. Sorry.
No.
Right. Who's it? Who's the opener against? It's
The Nova Aurora Dawn, I believe they're hosting the Nyarovik Tempest.
it's long the Tempest. Sorry.
It'll be quite the rowdy match, I'm sure, considering the history between the two nations.
Oh yes. So are you going to be offended if I root against the Dongs because I have to? It's a matter of national pride.
I mean, I'll just make fun of you when you lose. So
It's not. No, I mean, it's not my team. What's up? And Siobhan obviously knows, but Jamie does not know the name of the team from Ruby's Crossing.
He's crossing Freedom.
It's like, oh no, I'm a Freedom supporter, but my favorite teams are Freedom and then whoever's playing the feckin' Dawn.
that I understand. I mean, but you shoot at the king, you best not miss.
Holly is actually going to look over to you, Siobhan. I mean, the Freedom's got a good team this year. They've got a few new players, got some real strength and speed to them. It'll be tough to see if anybody can take down the Avalanche. They were impressive in the championship game. Thought our Dawn was going to take it though. We'll see. Siobhan, I don't know if you care to make a little wager on the game. If you're that convinced that the Tempest can take this.
I haven't. She stops to think about it because what I know, I think I don't know. I was about to say somehow I don't know all of the player stats of this imaginary thing that you created off the top of my head, but Siobhan fucking does. And
You don't play Fantasy Siege Ball in your off time, Jamie?
Yes. So you tell me, because I think I made it clear that she loves the game. Or if I had not made it clear, she loves the game, but she's rooting against the Dawn. It doesn't matter who they're playing. It doesn't matter who's favored. She's rooting against any
See,
Empire team,
You
basically.
get it. The Dawn are your Patriots.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
No, well, kind of.
Yeah.
Siobhan, like you're enough of a fan that you would kind of know what a lot of the betting lines are as
Mhm.
well. So, I mean, you'd probably be willing to take you'd take the bet as long as she gave you 3 points. Because the Tempest are not favored in this game at all. And that's what the money line is. The money line's 3. So
They say that.
okay. All right. Why don't we say make it fairly friendly bet? 10 gold. And I'll give you the 3 points.
That's awfully friendly, business owner.
I mean, if it's not rich enough for your blood, we can make it interesting.
No. It's plenty rich for my blood. I don't own a business. Was that not clear? I'm a fucking
I mean,
adventuring. You
I own
see,
a business, and a lot of my money goes right back into it. Costs a lot of money to keep this place running.
all right. Find where my money is. I'm sure I have enough. There you go. All right, done.
If we're gonna
Sounds good.
commit to staying for the opener, which I would very much like, that gives us 2 days to gather more information, or maybe just rest.
Wait, and your birthday though? Isn't your birthday about to come up?
It's
Wait.
it's still in like a week or 2, isn't it?
Yeah, because your birthday is in the next month. Right now, it is.
Well,
I bring up.
I thought it was the end of this month.
So you guys are in Slaughtermoon, which is the equivalent of basically like a September, and the you guys are currently on. Let's see, creating a calendar for myself because this is what I do with my life. So it is currently it's the 28th day of Slaughtermoon. Slaughtermoon has 29 days. So in 2 days, it will be the first day of Yulamund, which is the very, very it is the first day of the Siege Ball season as well. So yeah, I believe your birthday is somewhere in Yulamund.
Mine's then in that case, I mean my birthday is not for 3 more weeks. Because we just teleported here rather than like taking a train, so
Right.
we've got a lot more time than originally thought. I mean, I'm fine to stay around that long because there's plenty of information I can gather.
Are you going to
it's
try
just-
to avoid Castian the whole time?
At least for 2 of the weeks, I feel like it could be suspicious if I am not back for my birthday and it's not known that I'm back for my birthday. That might be suspicious just because it would be, now I'm an adult. Which that is an important question I'd actually like to ask all of y'all that have lived longer than me. Do things change a whole lot when you're considered an adult?
Right. Yes. Well, I mean, your adult
I
organs
mean-
don't come in until you're 18, of course.
You might start noticing some
I'm
hair
sorry,
growing
what?
from places you haven't noticed before.
No,
Mhm,
Haku,
they-
that's already started. That's not.
No.
That was.
Yeah.
Wait.
I think your testicles drop all the way.
Okay, that
and,
was many years ago.
And then it just looks over. Hair?
It's when your cloaca gets a little bit
DM, give him inspiration. Just give it to him.
Going to, yeah, you know, Rocco could have inspiration for the use of the word cloaca.
Jesus Christ.
So that should be the episode
But,
title.
but to which
Probably not.
Mannix understands completely. Say no more, lad.
That's
I feel like that needs to go into like a heard in D&D as inspiration for cloaca. I feel like that is a brand new sentence there.
I think Nathan needs a shirt that says "I got inspiration for cloaca."
There are so many things that we've said
Episode title.
episode that I'm like, that's the first time this sentence has ever been uttered in the English language. I feel strongly.
Probably.
there's-
That's why I love this game.
God. Okay, I asked a serious question, and this is also why I like y'all. I'll just put that aside for now.
It's no different than any other birthday. You know,
Most people don't know that you were 17 one day and 18 the next day, so they're not just going to treat you differently.
right.
As someone who just recently turned 18, I know these things.
I think it only really makes a big difference if you get caught doing something you shouldn't be. Bigger consequences. My experience.
Garnet all of a sudden looks a little pensive, like, never considered that.
Well, keyword being caught. You also have more experience to avoid that from happening.
I mean, you could also just not do things that you would need to hide.
Yeah, Swordall looks over at you, Reba. Is this a regular occurrence we need to be concerned about?
Kira just looks pointedly at Reba's coat.
I see no reason for concern. I'm
Make a deception
excellent at
check.
not getting caught.
Uh-oh.
Make either a persuasion or a deception check, Reba, your choice.
Alrighty.
Because
I'm with Reba. I wouldn't ever consider doing something against the law with this group.
That is a 21.
Swordall kind of gives you a long look. Gives kind of a long look at Garnet as well. Looks to Kira. You're a very interesting bunch. Well, I'm glad to hear you are not going to be causing any sort of unneeded trouble for Kira as you continue in your travels. That is definitely a weight off of my mind.
Wouldn't
Yes.
dream of it.
Wouldn't do anything like... No, I'm not even going to say it.
Can I actually ask about that? Halia, I have the utmost respect and regard for the denizens. And I do believe they do good, but their means are questionable. And I'm curious what the purpose of introducing Kira to them is or was, yet Swordall, you don't want us causing trouble for him. And that seems like that is tempting fate right there.
Oh, yeah, we'll speak up and say, Swordall worries. He's, and I love you, big guy, but he's a bit of a stick in the mud about some things. As far as introducing Kira to the denizens, sometimes you need friends who can shake shit up, as well as the ability to do the shaking yourself. Tyree believed in that. Tyree believed in change for the good of the people, not change for the will of the crown. And if I'm being honest, I think it was some of that change he worked for that got him killed. And it's my hope that whoever the fuck was behind it is found out and suffers a slow and agonizing retribution for it. If I'm being completely honest. he had a lot of trust in the denizens, and so do I. Some of their methods are a bit questionable. I don't agree with everything they do, that's for sure. But by and large, they've they've done right by me. And Yrtos, he thinks before he acts. He's not an impulsive individual. So I think he's the right person to have in charge with them here, at least for right now.
I mean, it makes sense for Sordal to be cautious over me. I mean, he has already lost one person that he trained up. He's not going to be keen to lose another.
Sordal will speak up. Well, you're correct there. Also, there is the piece that I still have to go to work, and so does Kira, unless he completely finds a way to step away from that organization. And while I don't disagree that you have allies that I will not ask too many questions about, because I don't want to have to tell any lies, such associations could be difficult for someone who works within the system, even though I too have a desire to change the system, but I desire to change it from within. My ways are less flashy, but I like to think they could be quite effective. Maybe that's the idealist in me.
At any rate, if we're going to be sticking around the city for a while, I'll need a disguise, and I never thought that these words would come out of my mouth because I don't have, well, didn't have siblings before y'all, but sisters, I'm going to need a makeover.
I have a disguise kit. There's all sorts of goodies in that.
In a flash, Halia is out of the room, and then she comes back with this extremely large makeup kit. She goes, whatever you all need, I am so excited to watch this. I will help as needed. Oh my goodness, this is going to be fun. Yes, yes, absolutely. All of it. Who else is getting a makeover?
Mannix, Kohaku, everybody? Maybe not Mannix, because we need to get into your family suite.
And to think that you can improve upon this visage is just the height of...
It's not about improvement, Mannix. It's about change and being someone you're not.
Why would I ever want to be not this?
What if you don't want people to notice that?
Why would I want that?
You're right. I was completely wrong here, Mannix. You just maintain being you, the perfect specimen of a dragonborn.
Thank you, Garnet. That's
You're
the
welcome.
first sensible thing I've heard from you in quite a while.
Like 2 minutes ago, when I was asking sort of a serious question, you're right. You know, sometimes I take a couple minutes off.
I wasn't paying attention.
That I believe.
Wasn't paying attention until you talked about me.
Rebo, what? You raised your hand. What
Yeah,
do
I
you want out of
absolutely want a
makeover?
makeover. I think we should make a whole day of it. Let's go ham.
Yeah.
What you got in that kit, Garnet?
Oh,
Let's see the goods.
I mean, does someone want a wig? Does someone want like glasses? You always look different with glasses.
Do you have the glasses that have like the little fake mustache attached?
Primo disguise. Yeah, best possible disguise.
actually,
I'm
could-
sure that we can create the mustache. I try to go a little bit more for some realism, but you know, whatever you need.
I mean, could we give me a beard?
Oh, bless. Can you grow one?
Always try.
I mean,
I
it's
haven't heard
not.
that in a while. That makes me. Oh,
I don't actually know what's in a disguise kit, but
Well,
I
Julia
bet
just
we
busted
can
out a
get some
whole.
glue and some like hair and like put it together and give you a beard. Unless someone's got some actual magic that does that. But this is going to pass in like a magic detect magic with just glue and hair.
Giving that boy a beard ain't magic, it's a miracle.
Hey now, it's just not coming in right yet. Shut up.
So a disguise kit, per the basic rules, it consists of cosmetics, hair dye, and small props that allow you to create disguises that change your physical appearance. And I would say that absolutely there would be fake beards and mustaches and all that in there, as well as probably some bald caps as well. So you've got quite the assortment of options.
Can you dye my hair purple? I'm feeling purple.
Absolutely.
Sick. Purple and green always go together.
Garnett's gonna just start like getting out, like moving the chairs around and just lining everybody up, and then like trying to coordinate with Halia, like, you know, who's gonna do what. And basically it's like salon day, and she and Halia can just like go back and forth on like who's better at doing the beards and the hair, and yeah.
All right, we've got an 80s fashion montage, everybody.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Love this.
Oh, okay. Do you have any requests?
I don't know what I should. I mean, we came here, and I look over to Kira, and I know that I kind of stand out, and so then I look over to Mannix, and I'm like, so I took some fashion tips from our resident, him, but now we want to change, and I'm not sure because I don't want to call attention to all of us, but what should I? I'm just a little nervous. I don't want to screw it up.
You've
Oh,
already.
so you're just wearing the suit and you have the book, great, and so you took off your belt and stuff.
That is all in the bag of holding right now.
So you probably already have your disguise. Do you want anything more?
I look over to Kira, like, wait, what is my disguise? What am I trying to disguise myself as?
I mean, honestly, Pohaku, you don't need a disguise.
We don't want people to recognize Kira
Yeah,
because
don't-
everybody here knows him.
Okay, so the suit is my disguise.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
good
Okay.
job. You were thinking ahead, like
I
days ahead
was
of the rest.
thinking ahead.
Good job.
I can't claim credit. It was Kira's idea. He's pretty smart.
I just wanted to make sure that you're, safe.
I appreciate you looking out for me. You guys all look out for me. Love you guys.
What is happening?
Love you too, Pohaku.
Oh, the fuck is happening?
You look out for us too, man. It's a two-way street here. Appreciate it.
There's hugs for anybody who accepts them.
Yeah, tens are full.
A lot of love.
Reba,
Mannix unfortunately gets sucked into the hugs. And just-
There is a high pitched squeal from Pohaku as this happens.
Oh, I believe it.
And a low pitched ugh from Mannix.
Reba, as the hug fest begins to die down, you hear a voice from
Uh-oh.
outside that is kind of walking through the street chanting, and you can just faintly hear that someone is shouting something about opening night of a new play. You just hear that being announced. But
Want to test out our looks in the audience of a new play? Sounds like opening night's happening, but we could
yeah,
get in.
you're not picking up all the details, but with your passive perception of 19, you're able to just hear that there's someone shouting outside about this.
Yeah. I test the since we've got time. Want to see what this whole theater's about?
I'd go see a show.
Oh, I'm here. Someone's talking about it outside. I'll like look through the door and try to hear more.
Okay. And yeah,
know
there
what
is
floor it is.
there is someone, you know, in the streets, very much like town crier style. And again, Mannix, this I'm imagining is a little more your speed of things you appreciate. Yes, your family does have the luxury private box at the Grand Stadium for Siege Ball, but you also have a private box at the local theater as well, that you would have access to if you wanted to share that. You don't have to share that information right now. That is, you know, completely up to you.
Now, I know that you're all very excited about this ball game thing. Wonderful, but my family does have a private box at the theater. And if you want to go see your little game of... I suppose that's a compelling thing that people want to go see. I would be so inclined to invite you all to come see the theater if you are ever so able to drag yourself away from the whatnot.
Yeah, why not both? I'd be down for a night at the theater. All fancy like.
Theater,
Theater.
not theater.
Buongiorno.
Theater.
Oh my! You did what to her? Why?
I
Why?
made it 2 syllables in the middle instead of just the one. I added a syllable like you
I'm
wanted.
so glad you're.
Theater. Theater.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm so
they're-
happy.
The theater.
Don't hurt yourself, my dear.
Oh my goodness.
Theater.
Hey, much better.
Oh,
I don't
you
know why
all
you
are
told me how many friends you had before your faithful pet passed, though.
Mannix, your family lives here in town?
Does my family live here in town?
Yes, the Manor Soul is within the city of Nova Aurora.
We keep a residence here, yes.
Is it not? I mean, from your retelling of the library, it sounds like maybe it's known that you're back in town. Do you need to go home and see your family? You want to introduce your new friends?
They're away on business, sadly.
That's too bad. You can still show us around your house.
I believe it's being fumigated for fire ants.
It's
Does your family know anything about the fact that you got sort of hunted down and attacked by this weirdly powerful Fey-like entity? Is that a thing your family can help with?
They've been incredibly busy and caught up in all sorts of affairs at the moment. I can't be bothering them with such a trifle.
Different standards for what qualifies as trifling, but respect.
And then, Reba, you said you were going to peek your head outside to try and hear what is
Yeah, I just want to know
happening?
what the show is and where it's where it's being played. Where it's being
Okay, Jamie, go ahead and roll that.
okay.
I got the message you just sent me.
Okay.
So yeah, as while you're doing that, I'm going to jump over to here to Reba for a sec. So Reba, you point your head outside, and this person's a bit further away. They've passed the bar, but again, your passive perception, you're pretty good at hearing. And they're saying, "Do not forget, gentles, all those of you who have tickets who are looking for an incredible night tonight at the Celestial Assembly Hall, the newest work of the great creative mind of Wilhelm Rattlepike, Ranso and Jovial, the touching tale of an orc family and a tabaxi family and the strife between them. Come see as these two star-crossed lovers tell their tale.
I like immediately go back inside, like, Mannix, I will absolutely take you up on your offer of seats. I want to see this one. Number one, because it's partly about an orc family, so, represent. Number two, it's by Wilhelm Rattlepike, and I've heard really good things about the dude. There are also some rumors that he's just straight up copying work, but either way, he comes out with some good stuff.
I thought I'd heard whispers out in the wood. Whispers out in the wood. Like he was like 5 kobolds in a trench coat.
I thought I heard it was a woman. So it's a pen name for a woman.
Holly, like that's what I heard too, and that's what I think. I'm sorry. These are some of his female characters. They're a little too well written for me to believe that it's a he writing them. Like let's be honest about this.
Though I suppose if it's a bunch of kobolds in a raincoat, some of them could identify as female.
That's actually a quite a good point.
Dude, do you think if we go to his show, we'll get to meet him?
Is this person supposed to be famous?
Wilhelm Rattlepike,
This is being an idiot teenager.
Okay, when I say, I mean he's
Glares at Kira.
Yeah. Mannix is quite the fan.
It's like the Bard of Airfield. Yes, he's famous.
Mannix, I need you to roll a d20, add your charisma mod. Actually, add charisma plus proficiency.
Oh fuck!
That was not a good roll. 14.
14. So everything seems on the level for you there, Siobhan.
Hate that.
You have no doubts.
Hate it. I'm so mad. I don't have anything to wear to the theater.
I mean, it's a private box. No one's going to see you, right?
It doesn't matter.
Holly will speak up. I mean, most people prefer to at least clean up a little bit, especially the Celestial Assembly Hall. It's quite a beautiful venue. I mean, you don't have to wear like a gown or anything, though it is opening night, so probably getting cleaned up a bit. I mean, if you could probably find some places that would have stuff you could buy off the rack.
Mannix visibly drives.
That's the idea of off the rack.
If you'd like to support a finer purchase, I mean, I'm sure the House of Soul would be happy to donate to make sure that those in your entourage are of suitable accoutrement. Did I say that right?
Suitable.
No.
Sorry, accoutrement. Was that better?
No.
Mannix soul and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
Do I still have the Wand of Smiles?
I do suppose it would be becoming
got converted into something else.
Well, you converted it into a con save, I believe, if I recall.
Yes, that's right. It got modified.
I suppose if I'm bringing those of a lesser stature into the box with me, I suppose, yes. If you are part of my entourage, my
Staff?
I feel like that's giving you too much credit.
If we're your entourage and you introduce us to somebody, how are you going to introduce us?
Not without having more fire whiskey.
I feel like I should have a city name.
Oh, now there's
That's
an
a good
idea.
idea.
Maybe like Bill.
You're very much a Bill.
I thought you wanted a city name, not one of the country.
Well, I didn't say Nathan.
You can't have inspiration again.
He is correct.
Oh my god.
Which I say to which one of us, and you say yes.
I love you, my friend.
I love you too, buddy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
Very well. Who of you needs to... I take that back. All of you need different clothing. So let's upgrade your appearances.
Kira says, with stroking his new fake beard. Yes, quite. We will need an upgrade. Very intelligent of a thought for you to have for us. May I ponder on this for just a moment?
Amazing.
What just happened?
Sorry, when I changed my name, it moved me.
Yeah, don't do that.
Bill. Just put AKA Bill. Oh, Jesus.
That'll be fun for the people in our Discord to see.
This would be delightful.
And that's why you should give us money on our Ko-fi, because you'll get to see the dumb nicknames we give ourselves in the Discord.
We're going to fix it in post, right, Jordan? We're going to fix it in post.
I ain't fixing a damn thing.
Nothing's ever actually gotten fixed in post. Post is like a retail store when you tell someone to go look in the back.
You know what people do when they go into the back? They go sit in the back and they just like, I'm gonna have a drink, or I'm gonna have a little herbal remedy, or I'm gonna sit and dick around and I'm gonna come back. Oh yeah, I couldn't find it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I looked for a while too.
In this apparent, like, everybody thinks that the back looks like that warehouse at the end of
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ark.
Yes,
Yeah, it's just endless. Oh, well, I'll need the forklift to get up to that.
And so this is Bjorn now making a magic shop called The Back.
What of giving him ideas?
I mean, that one's actually a good
Oh,
idea.
that's
a good
giving me an idea.
Yeah, because it's only going to be beneficial and benevolent. It's definitely not going to come back and bite you in the backside. And by that, I mean all of us.
So, Mannix, you would know that there is a very, very fine clothing store here in the city that your family has an account with. That you could get these folks set up with some fancy clothes on short order. It is known as the Serene Castle, and it is considered one of the, if not the best clothing store in all of Nova Aurora. They believe that they make everyone walk out looking like royalty, and every piece is unique. So if somebody buys something from there, they guarantee you will never see somebody else wearing what you purchased.
If you are wanting and are insistent upon this wardrobe improvement, I know of a local tailor. I misspoke. Calling them a tailor is a gross misunderstanding. The Serene Castle is where we should go. I will.
Right.
Well, I won't, but they will do their best to make you lot presentable.
Gee, thanks, Mannix.
You're welcome.
I mean, once we're done, turning Reba's hair purple, seems like a good idea to me.
Yeah, the dye just has 30 more minutes and then it'll be set.
Yeah, you got to wait. Yeah, you got to take your time before you rinse out the manic panic. Like you
Same.
follow the directions.
Yes, the Mannix panic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the topaz color?
That's how they made their. That's how they made their fortune.
Yeah, Holly is preemptively looking at her sink, knowing full well it's going to be dyed for weeks after this crap.
Darnet's going bubblegum pink, and she will be looking for a frilly dress to match.
Yes.
80s prom dress is what she wants.
I'm thinking Bo Peep.
Holly is going to grab a nice bottle of Scorch whiskey and pour about 2 fingers worth. She slides it over to Mannix. She goes, and I assume present company will also be invited to said box, both for the show and for the game, because I'm not going to lie. I have been following Rattlepike's works since his first show, Tread the Boards, and I cannot tell you how thrilled I would be to be at opening night for this. In fact, a good girlfriend of mine auditioned for this one. She didn't make it in, but apparently they said they might call her for another one down the line. I guess he's got some show he's working on about this really headstrong woman and this sister that she has who all the guys want to marry. I don't know. They kind of told me about it. It seems a little far-fetched.
My dear, whatever miracles you are able to work with this lot, it would be my honor to have you join us.
And don't worry, as far as clothes go, don't worry about me. I have a dress I've absolutely been saving for a chance to go out on the town that I'm going to look fantastic in, and this will be delightful. Sort of. Well, I clean up quite nice as well, so I don't think I need to be worried about, but it's quite kind of you, Lord Soul, to assist everyone here with being quite presentable, especially for being in a private box. And, well, I'm not totally worried about us being seen by those that we don't want seeing us. Privacy is preferred. So, I do thank you, Lord Soul.
The box has measures in place to prevent prying eyes from seeing what is not intended to be seen. So your concerns are warranted. I do take that very seriously, and I can assure you we will be quite secure in our twist.
Holly is going to say, as great as that all is, considering what time it is, and considering opening night is, let's see here, looks like tomorrow, we're either going to want to get some of us down there to get you guys some stuff picked out, or you want to head down first thing in the morning. You can all stay here tonight if you want. I've got some rooms available upstairs, and yeah, let's get you all changed. And I don't know if anybody else got anything to do on the day, but that ruckus earlier is giving me a good excuse to stay closed for the rest of the day. So I'll throw a few things on the stove so we have something to eat. And yeah, you need me, I'm just going to be in the kitchen. Just going to head off.
Before you go, my dear, one
Yes.
more Scotch whiskey, please.
Considering you are taking us to opening night of a show and to the home opener, she just sets the bottle next to your glass. Knock yourself out.
I'm doing my best, and trust me, this is for my benefit as much as it is theirs.
So I guess we're gonna take with this time that we're taking to enjoy some things, like just because I know we've still got a lot that we want to accomplish. I'm just wondering what we should. I mean, after we have some fun, taking a break for a bit, what do we want to try and prioritize next?
Right. What was our? I'm forgetting what our plan was before we got here.
I mean,
I know we wanted to do some more research, but I think the library might be out
and
for some of us.
we've gotten in with the denizens, and I've asked them for a little help finding information, but they didn't really have much more when we went to talk to them. They didn't really know much more than we do.
So, what were the things we were wanting to? What were all the things we were wanting to look into at the library? Because I know we didn't get to all of them before we had to leave. I found. Oh.
If I remember right, you talked about trying to find any information on the Hollow Keeper, trying to find any information on your entire civilization being destroyed, any kind of records on my father's last mission, and then how to destroy the sword. I think that was the checklist.
Right.
So keeper masks upright. We're all kind of lumped together.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't find much. Well, the only thing I found when I found a document that I must. I turned to my notes rather than try to remember. I found information on the Plateau Arcane Reservoir, and I know how they found it. And there's a file where they talk about obtaining it, and they encountered resistance, but it is a heavily, heavily redacted file in there. There wasn't much I could read at all, which includes, I did see the name Deacon mentioned twice. I believe that's the Hollow Keeper's title. Deacon Hollow Keeper? Or is that... Well, do I know that? Am I making that up? Or is that...
No, you did hear that.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm like, right, and so it doesn't prove much except that whatever did go down there, well, which I know it went down there, but it confirms the fact that they lied, or that they're covering up.
Mm-hmm.
What they're telling people happens. Even in the official version, they've removed a lot of information. Is there... No, it's above our pay grade, I believe. I was just
Yours,
thinking...
perhaps. What was that?
I don't know if how... See, Jamie, am picturing, stuff just, blacked out with Sharpie, but I'm assuming because magic, it's altered
I mean,
in some
it
other
doesn't
way.
look all that indifferent from that. It's just, it was put there by magical means.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's just sections were completely blacked out. Like, much how you're imagining it, that is what it looked like. It was just done through arcane purposes as opposed to with a heavy marker.
So turning to Sortle and Kira, so something like that, could what was underneath it be revealed with a spell, or is it just lost?
Well, that would greatly depend on if the original document itself still exists somewhere. Redacted files are often blacked out, then copied, the facsimiles being what are filed away and kept in the Hall of Records. It's hard to know if the originals would have been destroyed to keep any risk of such a thing happening, or if they are kept somewhere. Unfortunately, the person who would have best knowledge or access to said information or potentially said original documents is Castian Aloro. That would mean getting into his office, which I don't think I need to tell you would be quite the tall task.
We've done it before and we can do it again.
That was a mobile office.
Kira's right. His actual workspace is infinitely more secure than a mobile office that was used on a train. That one had minimal security measures set up by him and his regiment, as opposed to what the census itself would use.
And I mean, there can be years and years of built-up warding spells and alarm spells on a place that's, stationary and has been there, I mean, essentially since Nova was picked up into the air.
Getting the most reliable way of getting in would be walking through the front door. Trying to teleport in or access it another way via any sort of magical means would be quite foolhardy. At least I don't have the arcane capabilities to do such a thing.
So then, I mean, getting that information, it seems like the easiest way is trying to trick Castian, which also a tall order, but maybe more doable.
The process would be getting someone in there, which he would have to do, and then somehow getting him out of that room while they are in there alone, and who knows what little you would have access to, and you would need your own way out, as once that task began, you wouldn't be able to just simply wait till he gets back and hope to bluff your way out of it. The odds that you wouldn't leave something noticeably out of place is extremely unlikely. And then as far as how you would get out of there, I guess that's the trick.
Well, I know one candidate with a solid way in, but that seems pretty high risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would create waves that would ripple past Castian, I think.
It
I don't
certainly
have
would.
much of a plan, but Castian likes me. I'll just throw that out there.
That's true.
I can call him up right now if you want.
No,
No, it's not. Not right now.
Or I could not do that.
I
But I could.
thank you. Yeah, but let's not do that.
I mean, but he likes me, and I'm just saying I don't necessarily know what I'm doing with that just yet. But I mean, he likes me. We know that he's not happy probably about like the loss of his book, and maybe we use that somehow.
I guess at any rate, we don't have to figure this out today. But it would be nice to have a plan.
Just like the idea of Pohaku charming his way in. Hey, didn't you just learn a spell that would
No, no,
I haven't technically learned anything yet. I need to sleep before I learn it, but
Just because you had something like that, maybe it could be really handy.
my God.
in an alternate, universe, if there was like this guy pulling the strings and controlling me through electrons, then yeah, he would know about it. But this is not that world. I, Pohaku Kahu, don't know about that spell yet.
My mistake.
So happy.
Holy
Pardon.
shit.
I, Bill.
Well, there you go. That's the title.
I, Bill.
What's that or cloaca? So,
Mm.
Uh,
or makeover
And
montage, I
we
guess.
have a really good friend named Bill, and I didn't even think about the name that I was choosing, and now I'm just like, okay, it's Bill. Bill is now in this
Lean
game.
into it.
I'm kind of loving my mental imagery.
I don't think I realized until now how much of a sort of with dead end I personally am at. Because I knew I wanted to find the Hollow Keeper. And then they showed up casually just teleporting in where we've just been told that people can't casually teleport in. And incinerating someone on live. I don't know what you would call it because I don't think broadcast or television is a thing.
Broadcast would be fine.
Sure. Casually incinerated someone on live broadcast, so it's just very quickly, oh, this is not something you can possibly do anything about, Trevon Finnegan. And so I don't know what the heck my next step is, quite frankly.
What if we try to find additional sources of information that aren't so official about the Hollow Keeper and the Upright, etc.? I mean, I'm sure the denizens are going to have eyes and ears all over the city that would know where perhaps there are some pockets of sympathizers or aggressive detractors from each faction. And if not, then I think our time here could be spent learning some of that as well.
I mean, we've got a bit that could be gained just being in the city for a bit, getting Pohaku some new tattoos. I don't think there's really anyone to tattoo them onto you but yourself, but
Well, that's okay. I'm
you can
quite used to it.
copy, yeah, you can copy them out
I'm
of
happy
off
to help
scrolls
out in
and
that
things.
arena.
Wait,
So-
Pohaku, do you do your own tattoos?
Some of them. So it's kind of, and he does seem like even a little bit embarrassed as he starts talking about it. So like he'll point to some of the more recent ones, like the spells that he purchased from the magic shop. And like, yeah, I did these myself. And he actually would take out of his backpack. He's got it's basically like, kind of a traditional tapping tattoo made of just like a wooden rod with like a thorn at the end of it that he uses to do the tapping. So yeah, I do some of these. And the part where he starts acting a little embarrassed is like, some of these though, I don't really know where they come from. Like when I was, and actually, hold on, we're out in public. He goes that far and then looks to Kira. Wait, should I talk about this?
We're only among us here in this bar, so
Okay.
it would be safe, assuming no one is listening in on us right now. Which, oh dear God, Sordal.
Yes.
So, a thing that I have not thought about until this moment. We as a group don't have any way to know if someone's using some kind of magical means to look in on us and listen at us at any given time, or magical means to track us.
This is true. This is part of why I wanted us to arrive here in the most discreet method possible, as
not knowing where someone is can be very useful. Pohaku, I don't think anybody here is going to terribly worry about your tattoos too much, though I don't know that I would openly discuss what they could do if you were in front of, I don't know, say, a member of the census, present company excluded, of course. It doesn't fall under forbidden magics per se, but it also...
I've studied really hard for it, but at the same time, it's always been a little bit of a mystery.
And it certainly falls under unknown magics.
which are not always met with the kindest response.
But mostly I'm just thinking, oh, I don't know, if Castian just decides to do a little bit of scrying on us, no way to know.
Well, that's apparently how Elafris found us, or presumably.
Well, he's dead now, so
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
at
ain't
least
that great?
don't worry about him doing that. Definitely understand the concern, however.
I don't think I know of anything besides, augmenting your vision to be able to deal with something like that.
Well, I honestly
And I can't do
think-
that.
I think using something as mundane as the disguise kit Garnet has so kindly provided is going to be far more useful than trying to use magical means. Let's face it, there are defenses to see through magical shape-changing or seeming that one can't look past wigs, hair, and makeup quite so easily.
But what I mean is specifically trying to stop him from scrying on us.
If you give me a few minutes, I don't know if this will work, but I can try. I'll need a few minutes.
It's worth the attempt.
If you give him a few minutes, Pohaku will sit down and begin the ritual for casting Detect Magic. I don't know that this works on scrying to see the sensor, but it's all he's got.
Sure.
Hmm.
And I will say, after the time passes and you do cast the Detect Magic, the magics, you notice they're all of your guys' equipment that is magical, obviously, that lights up from it, as well as much of Swordall's equipment being magical in nature. You do see that in the tavern, there are a couple bottles that the liquid in it has just the slightest hint of magical essence, which you guys have encountered some magical drinks at this point, so that doesn't seem overly absurd to you. But you don't see anything else here really that jumps out to you as being magical.
Does the owl bear head mounted above the fireplace have an enchantment on it?
No, it does not. No, that would be
Joke that makes sense to only people in this room.
Yeah,
and that's okay. That's okay. As
It'll-
this,
Yeah,
Oh,
so
go
I'll
ahead.
tell you there's nothing else that he sees. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it's kind of as this is happening. There is a voice that comes through. Garnet, you're the one who hears it, and you recognize the voice of Castian through a
shit.
sending spell. Don't really know where you are. Nice move. Giving me the wrong book.
Shit.
Mistake. That's all that comes through.
Well, I don't know to panic, so I'm not panicking.
Yep, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're just watching Pohaku look at stuff.
La la la.
Well, Garnet just rolled an at one on her deception to keep her face totally straight and not freak out. Still 11, but an
I
at
was
one.
about to ask because my passive insight is still just a 9. So you still, even with the nat 1, I don't know anything.
No,
It's
it's a nat one. Even you can kind of clock something here, Bahaku. I believe you have a passive insight of 15 there, Siobhan.
I do, but she's currently styling my hair, so I'm probably sitting on the floor and she's behind me.
She's very quiet.
Yeah, like
And stop.
Garnet's a very talkative person, and
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
very.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, she's dead quiet. You can feel she's not full on like pulling your hair, but you can feel her hands have kind of tensed up a little bit, so you can tell something's off.
I'm reach back. You're right. Actually, in her head. You're right.
Yeah, we're still in our 4 hours of Shalon, Hawaku, and Reba,
You'd be right
and
near
the
the
psychic
tail end of
whispers.
it. Very, very
And
tail
she's just
end.
gonna be like, Castian just spoke to me and said that it was a mistake to pass him the wrong book.
Oh, fair.
But he called me clever.
I think you should tell the others.
Okay, I'm gonna drop this psychic link. So she's gonna cancel that psychic whispers and use the psychic die for for Mannix and Kira and for Sordal and send the same message. Castian just spoke to me. I didn't reply. Is there any insight that I can do on ascending to see if he was lying about whether or not he doesn't know where we are?
I'll let you give an insight check. The DC is gonna be a little higher because you can't read someone's face; you're just reading their voice.
12.
12. I mean, hard to tell without seeing somebody's face.
And he did say he didn't know where we were. Could be lying. Could be trying to get something and just trying to scare us.
Think back to Garnet. Well, it worked.
So the theater sounds amazing, and all these new clothes, and that sounds like a tomorrow problem.
Yep. Let's just have some fun for a bit.
tomorrow
And-
problems become today problems faster than you'd think, but let's have it tonight.
Yep. Yep, gonna leave that for future us.
Save tonight.
Don't sing anymore that song.
How long did Garnet have to reply to the sending to send something back to?
That is a great question. How long do you have to reply to sending?
Huh.
He asked, looking. I will tell you in just a moment as I'm looking up the
That's
spell
never been
right
something
now.
I've looked up.
Me neither.
There's always, the pause waiting for a reply, but I just never knew what that
Oh yeah.
was.
Oh yeah. So let's see
Got it
here.
pulled up here. So rules as written, the creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. So rules as written.
I'm gonna say you have a minute to do it. I know it says casting time 1 action, duration 1 round. It says immediately, but it's a 3rd level spell, and people need to sometimes collect their thoughts before they respond to something. I'd say you have a minute if you want to respond.
Okay. Garnet is absolutely going to respond. And she's going to just say, well, you're welcome for taking care of that Alaphorus problem for you. And don't worry, we'll see each other sooner than you think. If you want to tell me where you are, you can. That's it.
His voice comes through again. Not to you, Garnet. Mannix. Lord Soul. News
Present.
has reached me that you're back in town.
Oh, fuck me.
Curious if Kira made the trip too. Would love to speak to him and an associate of yours. I'm worried about him and for your safety. That's where the message ends.
And apologies, the source of this message again was...
This was Castian Oloro, and it was him speaking in your head through the sending spell.
Right.
And you can respond if you wish, 25 words max.
Why the concern? I am in town, taking in the theater. Ta-ta.
Okay.
I'm going to relay to everyone what was said from Castian.
Oh, feck.
Just trying to remember how the whole train thing went down. So if anyone can help refresh my memory here. So clearly he knows that Garnet was involved.
But
I'm trying to remember how all of us fit together, because like Mannix the entire time was up having 6-second meals.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's
Mannix was hobbiting it up for sure.
Speed courses.
I
yeah.
was assisting.
Okay,
Who was I
that's-
fighting? I was
after
fighting
the-
Alavris at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a big thing that was relayed that Jordan knows that Kira does not.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, so as far as who all he may have known were associated, Pahaku, you weren't near the attempt for stealing the book. Mannix was just up front. Kira's closest involvement was him shouting out into the train car, "Boy, this may be where something," I can't exact the exact words he used, but I think the only other person who might have been seen with Garnet, though I think Siobhan may have actually pissed off by that point. I can't
Oh
remember.
no,
if
I was
No,
there,
Siobhan was standing right there.
right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
So it was you. But in that case, like Reba was posed as someone who worked for the train, as well as was
And she
Siobhan.
revived somebody. Reba got knocked out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was revived.
I healed Reba.
Yes, yeah.
So-
Reba nearly got killed.
But yeah, I got
So-
knocked out like, right in front of Castian though.
Yeah,
So it
So
would
he
be
knows-
reasonable to believe that Castian might think of at least Reba and myself as sympathetic.
correct. It's entirely possible.
Or suspicious. Because at the same time, if he sees
Sure.
either of us out here, there's no reason.
We don't know that he's seen us, but you are correct.
Yeah. But he should
Well,
he might
'cause
think
he
of
saw-
us as suspicious, but we wouldn't be able to get close enough to him to capitalize on, or he might think of us as sympathetic, but we wouldn't be able to get close enough to capitalize on that without him thinking of us as suspicious.
He only saw you in disguise, Reba.
Oh, that's true too.
That's
and
correct.
He also only saw Garnet in disguise.
You said
But he's seen all of us together at the mine.
no. I meant though
Okay.
when. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, I was disguised on the train, but I didn't try to disguise myself from him when we were giving back the book, where Reba was the one who was past the disguise deception when she was going in and out of his office with
Mhm.
the card.
Yeah, Reba unquestionably, you guys would believe that she full on pulled off a disguise that is entirely possible, that her presence on the train would not be known. Like you said, he did see all of you together at the mine, but Garnet, you don't know how well your disguise did or did not fool him, since he did directly interact with you in both locations. And Baku, if he saw you on the train, he saw you being very Pohaku-ish. And while that draws its own attention, it may not make him think that you were any part of it. May not. Hard to know, but
Yeah, no, I'm so I as Phoenix was just trying to figure out. So yeah, one, obviously I as a player know Garnet received that message, Mannix received a message, and so I'm just trying to figure out, okay, who is he again thinking of potentially as against, sympathetic, neutral, and so I'm just trying to kind of keep track of that in my head. Thank you.
hell yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if he knows that Mannix is here, which makes sense because he went in under his own name,
Mm-hmm.
do you think he knows that Reba and I are here as well? Because of course, it's possible that no one paid attention to his, attendance. But
I mean, you didn't do something as dumb as also give your names, right?
no, of course not.
Okay, then he'd be working
However,
off a loose description at best.
yes, but if the loose description is like a feck-off big orc woman and a pale woman with bright red hair wearing sunglasses, I think he can do that math.
Yeah.
Sordal will actually speak up. Well, it is entirely possible that those working in that office did a whole lot of looking past the two of you, Reba and Siobhan. Not out of disrespect, they're quite busy. Folks who are coming in, they're usually trying to get done dealing with them as soon as possible. And Mannix's vociferous nature can be quite distracting, as well as his social status. They were likely very focused on making sure they did not break eye contact with him, especially when spoken to, as there are some nobility that take quite the great amount of issue with that. So it is entirely possible that you all weren't noticed. But as you did point out, you're not exactly the most inconspicuous duo.
It might not be unwise for you, Siobhan, to maybe, I don't know, use a nickname, lean on the Finnegan part of your name more, rather than the Siobhan part.
Bill is taken.
I mean, we could have Bill 1 and Bill 2.
Perhaps Billiam.
Okay.
Or Bilmathy.
Bilgemin.
Oh, I like Bilgemin. Bilthew is also open.
Billador.
Bilford.
Idiots.
Bill isn't in that at all.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Siobhan, I panicked and I used your first name as my fake last name.
Oh, I know.
Bilgernon.
Bill Triple.
Build an axe, the destroyer.
Why don't you call me
Build-A-Bear.
But Finny.
call me Vitara.
Katara?
Vitara with a V.
Vitara, you got it.
Tara. All right. Oh shoot! I guess I'll need a fake name too.
Well, I mean, Bilford is still available.
Bilford it is.
For some reason.
I have sisters, and now I have a brother.
Bilford Wimley.
You can't have inspiration again. We just.
But I haven't had to roll for anything.
That's pretty damn good. That is pretty damn
Really
good.
good.
This is making me so happy.
Garnet's rethinking the bubbled gum pink dress, and that's probably actually a little too close to how I might dress. Can I just have a tuxedo?
That would be
And-
adorable.
She's gonna put on a wig.
Swordall was going to speak up and say, well, the good news is at the game in a couple days, Lord Soul's box will give us quite the privacy and ability to relax. As far as the theater goes, for as talented he is at his job, Castian is fairly uncultured swine as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think he would go to the theater unless he had a extremely good reason. So odds are you'd be.
Like Mannix just told him he'd be there.
You don't know that. Mannix never said that.
I thought you said that you told. Oh, you said you told us what
Pretending.
he said.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I see. Okay.
So let's go see a show.
I still want to tap.
But for now, we should probably just kick it and relax.
So one small thing, as Garnet tells that just a tuxedo, and Pohaku thinks that's a little sad. He'll ask if the pink prom dress comes in his size.
No, oh, God.
Nice.
Okay, new thing for our Kofi. If you give us enough to get Phoenix a maid outfit, would you wear it?
What?
A maid outfit? I don't know. I don't know if that's a payment reward or a threat. But
Things can be two things.
I mean, if
said it was
you want to
mutually
see my man cleavage, I'll do it. But
Support the heavage. Support the heavage.
It's now all our Kofi is for.
there's
is
more of
just
it than I'd prefer
donating
that there is. So
amounts
you
to
know,
get us outfits.
Man's ear.
Really start advertising this channel on OnlyFans. We'll get a whole bunch of viewers.
and hey, if I'm responsible for all of the money coming into this channel, all of a sudden, wait a minute.
The right to bear arms.
Yeah, then I absolutely will get you a trophy for that. Might even be a pizza trophy.
Anyway,
Oh, damn, a pizza
Yeah.
trophy.
Exactly. Mannix, I will say this. Your mental scores are absolutely high enough that you would know that that's a piece of information that might be worth sharing. And I'm not going to be the pedantic DM who's like, well, he didn't say so. I just thought it was funny. However, if you're deliberately not saying it, that's fine too.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I definitely convey the entirety of that conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe conversation is the wrong word, but now I'm being pedantic. So
Right. Yeah. So no, you all would know that piece of information. I just
It doesn't sound like we should go then. If he's, if perhaps he puts just a lookout to someone to see if.
I'll go.
well, I mean, yeah, like Mannix said he was gonna go, so
But I meant we can't.
yeah.
If we're disguised, we'll know quickly if the disguises are working or not.
I don't want to dye my hair.
worst
is the
comes
thing.
to worst, I'm happy to wizard a little bit of visual camouflage to
And
hide specifically who you are.
And also, you would see him coming before he saw you coming if you're all disguised. He doesn't know who all exactly to look for, and just because he holds rank, that doesn't give him access to Lord Soul's family's box without being admitted.
Also, there are rules to be abided by in the soul box.
And if he were to set foot in the theater, a couple of things to know. There are enchantments on it to help protect against any possible arcane threats. Not everything, of course, is going to be under like an anti-magic field or something so ridiculous as, let's face it, there are many people there who are using arcane means to enhance their appearance, shall we say. But the wards in place would not only protect against any potential ne'er-do-wells who are to attempt anything, but would also protect said ne'er-do-wells if someone like him were trying to do anything to them. It doesn't sound like the worst idea. Like I said, you definitely see him coming before he saw you. And I think if he knows that's where you're planning to be, Mannix, there's a good chance he'll possibly be there in person to have an eye out on things. It's opening night, after all. It's not like he's going to be able to get his entire garrison tickets.
I think that I should have to do something to ensure that he can't get his entire garrison tickets. If I have to acquire any extra tickets that might be lingering, I would happily do so, in which case to prevent him from bringing any unwanted riffraff.
You'll hear Halia shout from the kitchen, "Extra tickets, my ass! I have friends who've been trying to get into this for weeks. He doesn't have a shot in the hells."
Well, I do like the idea of Mannix just buying up all the tickets for opening night, so all the actors are just doing it to an empty fucking theater.
As much as that might please Mannix, he would definitely do such a thing, but he would not let the seats be empty.
Okay.
He is an unabashed fan.
That is
He is a
very-
fan. He is a fanborn.
That'd be so mean. Otherwise.
Well, I mean,
Thank you, Jamie.
as
It's good.
as much as I definitely want to go see this show, we probably shouldn't test out the bounds of my disguise. So I'll stay home.
No, Kira, you're coming too. And you get a tux as well.
Well,
Or a dress. Maybe you need a dress like Pohaku. But then I mean, oh, well, the beard's fine too. It's fine. They can go together.
Oh my god.
It provides fantastic lift, I must say.
What is happening?
You know, if I were back at
I
home,
love
we could
this
stop
game.
into the clinic and we could get one of those branch mother butt lift procedures.
The B-
oh, you
Oh,
have
the-
heard of the branch mother butt lift. Okay, I thought that was a myth.
oh, the BBL? Yeah.
Not a myth.
Or a hit.
Druids, shape shifting,
What have we done?
it's a real thing.
What have we done?
We
You
just
thought that we couldn't improve upon Drag Bunch. You were
we
wrong.
created fantasy BBL. It's just happened. Oh
You're
my god.
welcome.
Oh my god.
What have you done to me?
Poor Bjorn. Oh
So
no.
you said at some point.
We have done unto you more than you have ever hoped that we would ever be capable of, and you are ecstatic about it.
Don't die.
No, I
No,
wasn't sure
no.
if I could
put
actually play a
Bronzy away.
chaotic.
Oh no! Oh no! TPK! We're all screwed!
Oh, no.
I take 19 points of sick damage.
So you mentioned
I was worried.
Thankfully, your
because,
resistance, you only took 9.
I was worried with this group. I mean, I as a player just always end up playing the lawful characters. I wasn't sure if I could pull off chaotic. I was wrong.
You are
My
all
friend, you give yourself far too little
It is
credit.
so good. You are all
Far
your
too
individual
well.
flavors of chaos. Siobhan is like the most organized chaos, but because of what she ultimately wants to do, there could be chaos involved in that. And then there's the rest of you.
I was saying she has
I love you all.
so she has 3 older brothers and she's Irish, so like, she's been ball busting since she could speak.
so
Probably before.
how long as a group do we have until opening night to get our disguises and outfits ready?
Tomorrow.
Oh, so we have the full day.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have all day tomorrow, because tomorrow is opening night.
Oh man, I have like no notes for this episode because I just keep laughing. So I'll have one thing
So-
written down. I'll be like, also, and I'm like, who knows what? Also,
Also, Baby L. Yeah.
also BBL. Yeah, that's it.
Just to put a bow on something that is not my pink prom dress. At some point when we are just we don't have to role play the entire conversation because I know I explained it with Kira previously, but Casey or Reba, to your question about the tattoos. So the short version that Pohaku would give you is that yes, some of them he has done himself. Others have just kind of appeared. He talks about, being in the wood, being among basically a group of druids who just always just knew things. They didn't have to study it. They just knew stuff. And he was never able to do that. He had to work really hard and like study how things grew and study like how, things moved over time. And eventually he was able to start controlling certain aspects of it. But it was about that time when the tattoos literally started just showing up on his body, which he didn't understand, but it was made clear to him that somehow that was special. But yeah, so mechanically, the spells that I learn, I tattoo onto myself. The level up spells, he doesn't really know where they come from.
What does Find with Friends look like?
It doesn't exist yet. He still hasn't slept yet.
Yeah,
You're right, I keep
we've
getting ahead of
still
myself.
got to sleep.
But yes, so in response to that, Reba would sort of point out the similarity between Pohaku and Siobhan and, appearing tattoos and make it known that, I gotta be honest with you, mainly I asked because as soon as I heard that you do tattoos, I got really excited. I'd love to commission you for one, if that's something you'd be interested in.
I mean, you're my sister. I'll do whatever you like. Twinsies.
Twinsies, hey, if you ever want to get a matching tattoo, let me know.
I just realized with the number of our group, I mean, it does miss out on the plurality, but we could each have a letter of the word sister.
What do you mean?
Sta.
Like we couldn't do the full sisters, but like each of us could get as a group tattoo like just one letter of the word sister.
We all get
Oh,
one
and, like-
finger on one knuckle, so if we stick one finger out and make we
Oh, no,
pull
Okay, maybe
knuck-
it's a dumb idea.
no, no, you did
Kira
not.
starts to like walk into the kitchen.
No, you do it on your
Pohaku
chest.
tells you he'll noodle on that for a while.
No, you did it in your chest, and so then when you're at the game, you flash and you have just, so you're supporting your whole team.
Pohaku tells you he'll noodle on it for a while, and then he pauses and says, "Make sure you don't tell the coven that you'll noodle on something. It would be bad."
Oh. I vote we all get greasy pig tattoos.
No. I actually don't have any tattoos. These are not tattoos.
But also, Pohaku, I do understand that. I mean, one, it is vastly different to tattoo on someone else than yourself, and so I leave it all to your comfort zone. And two, I understand that your tattoos are ones that, you either give yourself or that show up and are a direct reflection of like the things you've learned, and how that applies. And I don't at all want to step on that meaning in a way that I would not be able to rightly share.
So Haku pulls down. When I say pulls down his pants, I do not mean pulls down his pants, but he pulls down kind of like from the waistband on his right hip. He's like, well, there was the time that I just, it was a bad idea.
What's it look like?
I mean, it's the worst, like Bic pen prison tattoo of like, and it actually, it. So it has a name on it that you can barely make out that says Mauka. It's his mom's name.
Oh, I love it. That's sick as hell. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh my god, that's amazing.
I mean, I've gotten better since then. It was my first try when I was learning. I've gotten much better though.
Dude, if you are
But I'm not going to cover it up because it was my first, and it reminds me that we all improve over time.
It is incredibly beautiful in that way, and that is an incredibly valid form of beauty. I love it.
And I love you.
I love you too.
Chris, I give you another hug.
It is.
Sordal will speak up and say, I mean, with the discussion of tattoos and whatnot, there, in addition to very fine magic shops in this town, there is a proprietress of magical tattoos and magical tattoo inks. Though I will say she will take more of a liking to some of you than others, as those of you who are more physically gifted, and he nods his head towards Siobhan, Garnet, and halfway to Reba, she will be quite accepting of, and have a little less patience for those who are more magically gifted. He nods his head towards the other three and gestures towards himself. But he doesn't turn away business, and one can get some quite phenomenal abilities through a magical tattoo. There are two kinds. One is, quite permanent, where you would keep the abilities, unless you ever had the tattoo physically removed from your body. And those are quite pricey. And she does quite a number of tattoos that once you expend the ability within, they disappear off your skin. Or she can just give you a tattoo as it is. She's quite talented. Her name is Histania. And for those of you who are curious, Wanderer's Guide to Merchants of Magic, a phenomenal book that supports people using their works as open RPG. They are all about it. And so had fun backing this Kickstarter, and I like using their magic shops.
I mean, so I guess the rest of today is getting outfits, getting disguises done up, and then we rest up till tomorrow. Does anyone have anything like around town they need to do tomorrow? Before the show. No?
Yep. I don't live
I
here.
mean, I eventually want a tour,
I mean,
like all your favorite places. That's not Holly's.
I could certainly take you around.
And right about that time, Holly is going to step out of the kitchen. She sets a very large, almost like cauldron of very delightful smelling stew. And she goes, right, I think all that sounds like a great idea. Food's just about ready. I just need to put these in some bowls, throw a little dough over the top, toss them in the oven for a minute, and it was supposed to be less watery. I was trying to make kind of a shepherd's pie, but
It's gonna be like shepherd's stew. We'll call it that because it didn't come out quite how I wanted, but the flavors are there, so whatever. She goes back into the kitchen with her cauldron, and she's gonna go finish those up.
Do you need help carrying anything?
Pops right out. Oh my goodness, yes, it'd be amazing. I didn't want to ask. Yeah, if you want to help out, just I'll point and bark orders, and I'll let you take care of the lifting part.
Okay, and it's important to me that Garnet tells everyone what she's done to my hair.
It is not dyed because we know that Siobhan is not okay with that, and she's very proud of her hair. However, there are two, because your hair is fairly long, yeah?
Yeah, very long.
There are two big, thick braids, like coming down the side, pigtails, French braided. And Garnet, like, at first plays a little trick on you. I'm sorry, Siobhan, but she kind of like ties it up in the back of her bow, and she's like, wants to like kind of show you around. Look how short it is, everybody.
Oh my, there's so much less of it. Like that's a drastic change. That is really short for you.
You didn't say you
Thank
freaking.
you so much for trusting me with this really important change to your hair.
You didn't have fucking scissors.
No, but I did have flowers, and now you have
He
flowers. in your
stabs
hair.
things with her brain.
True. 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 You said that, and then
Yeah.
Siobhan actually reaches back to be like, all right, Jesus.
As you feel it, you basically feel like some like silk flower type things in your hair. Hopefully they'll stay. Like you're not like a really like aggressive sleeper, are you? Anyway, we can fix it again in the morning because the show's not till tomorrow.
That's like, I don't
But it's
rightly
really
know.
girly. It's really girly.
I'm in disguise. As someone who'd wear flowers in a fucking dress. I'm gonna go help. Go into the kitchen.
And with that, seeing Siobhan with flowers in the hair, Siobhan going into the kitchen there. Short time later, dinner will be served, and it sounds like you all are about to go have a little time on the town before things shut down too much to get some fancy clothes, to possibly go to some magic shops and get prepped for opening night at the theater tomorrow, and then the day after going to the Siege Ball home opener game. And we'll pick up there, as I don't want to go into I don't want to only start getting into that next bit. I'm very excited to hear what sort of clothing you decide to get from the Serene Castle. I certainly hope that you end up really enjoying the play of Ranzo and Jovial. I think it's going to be quite the event. And then, of course, the day after that, seeing the Nova Aurora Dawn facing the Nyarovik Tempest in Nova Aurora's first game of the season. Of course, many other teams throughout the continent having games on the same day. I got to finish creating the Siege Ball schedule for the season, because that's the thing I have to do now, because I this fucking
You put it out
sport.
into the world.
This is what happens when you DM, because now it's like, oh, you guys are gonna end up at places like, oh wait, hey, is there a team here in this town? And I'm like, yeah, there is. I'm like, oh, I should make sure. It's an away game, guys. It's an away game. Like, well, let's find a bar that's showing it. Damn it. So yeah, and I will do my best. I'm gonna keep track of win-loss records best I can for the whole thing. And who knows? Maybe you will get a chance to go to the championship game to see who raises the cup at the end of this season, or you might have other things to do.
At the end of the
But
siege,
that's
then.
yes, end of the siege. Then I like it. That's what some fans call it. But some, yeah, Mannix, yeah, understands that there. Well, actually, Mannix doesn't like anything about it. It's not refined enough for him. Nathan, I can send you some info about some other things that Mannix would have, like season tickets to like box seats for like there's the opera, like the ballet.
I'm absolutely certain that there are a plethora of things that he has tickets / box seats for that he is not even aware of.
Oh, without question. His family's history runs deep as well as their pockets. But that is a problem for me to figure out. Not you all. And we'll see if you guys run into Castian as he has finally figured out. Well, you now know he's finally figured out that thing is fake.
Can I mug Mannix? Wizarding is expensive. Apparently, he's got all the loot.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, we'll see how much of those coffers you're able to dip into. I won't make it endless, as there needs to be some limitation to you friggin' spellcasters. But that's a problem for a different time. I can't believe I put this thing on myself, and I got to figure out what the other works of Wilhelm Rattlepike are, because I did that to myself as well. Thank you all for not asking me for the names of some of his other plays, because I'd have been like vamping like fuck tonight. So I thank you. And I can't wait to hear your new outfits. And speaking on that, I'm gonna get in touch with our artist Roxy and see about getting them on the ball for doing some official character art for us, because they have been paid for the first wave of that, and they are going to do individual character portraits of all your characters, but you're gonna have one-on-one conversations with them to say, hey, here's what my character looks like. That's gonna be really cool, and I look forward to being able to share that on here as well. I'm being told I should end the episode and stop dancing. I will do that. I need
Wrap it up, B.
Just give the
You get
tagline.
All right. We should all remember next game, Nathan starts with disadvantage, and we'll see what chaos awaits.
Dear
It's the
God,
opposite of
thank
inspiration.